So, but I promise you, it is going to be, you're going to be glad you're here. We're going to talk about, what is this? Not this. We want to talk about this. We want to talk about this. What in the world is going on here? Now, okay, here's a couple of things. Do you remember at the gender reveal, I said Gypsy was thinner than she'd been in a long time? Okay, people are speculating perhaps Gypsy had to give up drinking, but she's not supposed to have been drinking on, these are just some of the things that are going around. On Pearl, she wasn't supposed to be drinking alcohol, but they're suddenly joining like a gym. Now, even with all of that, this does not look like Gypsy's body, okay? So here's the other thing, and I told you this a while ago, that I think Gypsy is trying to compete with Mia. And Mia, she feels like she's constantly in Mia's shadow, and how could she not, right? Mia had everything that she wanted, right? Two devoted parents, being like pretty and stylish and all of that stuff. She's got a great boyfriend and she's traveling around and she's got a good education and she's finishing her last year of nursing school and she has all of this charm, charisma. And Gypsy murdered her mother and was in prison, right? So now she's made it no secret that Mia was showing her where to shop, and anytime there was something, she wanted Mia to do it because Mia had style, right? Mia had class, all of this. But she was always living in Mia's shadow. She's living in Mia's bedroom, okay? And she's 10 years older than Mia. So now, I'm sorry, this is not Gypsy's body. Number one, her breast, her boobs, look at them. She, if anything, is bigger than that on top. But look at the legs, look at the calves. What happened to the belly? The arm is, I don't even think that is her hand that's on her hip. Or either that or she's cut some of her fingers off. Okay? There's like some really, really, really hard photoshopping or photo tune or there's some other app. And if you guys don't know that they have these apps and you put them on and they just go on and they change the entire everything. Now, but here's the weird thing. Who's this? Who's this lady here? Do you see what looks like a mirror? And it looks like a cross, but is that like a huge door? And there's a woman here. Who is that woman? Who is that? At first I thought, okay, well maybe that's like a TV. Now, could that be a mirror and she has a TV over there or something that it's picking up? But that is like the strangest thing. Is this her luggage on the bed? Is that what that is? She's been at Ken's a heck of a long time, right? And if this is Ken's place, like she could maybe just pick that up if she's going to take a picture. I don't know. It's weird because this right here, this is a camera. This is like a monitor camera. It looks like a baby monitor camera. Is she monitoring Ken when she's not there to make sure he doesn't have anybody in the bed? What is this? This is like a security camera kind of thing. If I have those here and they've given many to review. Some of them are like, we had them with the kids who would have it downstairs when they went downstairs in the playroom or something. We keep an eye on things, but that's a camera. What is that facing her bed for? I think if she's very jealous, that's to make sure that she probably has that on an app and she's watching him with the camera. What is that? So you think so? Hi on TikTok watching. Hi Sandy on TikTok. Do you think that? You think she's watching him like a little baby? Probably. You think for his dog? Why is it facing his bed? I don't know. I don't know. Who's in the mirror? Who's this? Who is this in the mirror? Do you think this is a reflection of a TV or what is this? Maya, I just started. I just started. I'm just looking at this heavily photoshopped, or it's not even Photoshop. It's one of those different apps on her phone. I think she, whatever it is doing something, because I think she is trying to channel Mia now or something. I don't know what she's doing. It's crazy, but this is like very bizarre because this doesn't even look like her on top, okay? She's like actually bigger than that, but her whole hand, this hand does not even look like this hand, okay? This one looks, look at this, and it almost looks like she chopped like her fingers off. I don't know, like she's like really working those filters. She says she's working the angles. I don't know what she's doing. But anyway, there's this woman over here. And what is this? Like, and what is this? Is that another mirror? But this looks like a big, heavy wooden door. And it looks like a woman is coming in with a black coat on. Hey, thank you, Brittany Geiger. That's funny. I know a Brittany Geiger. I wonder if do you live in New York? Anyway, here's a fan. I'm on YouTube too. I'm on YouTube, but thank you for following me. I'd love you to follow me over there on YouTube as well. All right. So I don't know. She's got this. I don't know what that. It looks like she's been at Ken's like a little bit longer than she should. Doesn't it seem that way? But anyway, we're going to talk about Dee Dee's toxicology, and we're going to talk about her autopsy, because that is breaking the internet tonight. So I'm going to talk about that, but I just wanted to show this picture. If you come in later and anybody can figure out who this is, if this is a show that you know, I don't know why I'm thinking like American Horror Story or something. I don't know why that just came into my head. Well, maybe. But we're going to talk about, I just don't understand what she did there. Let me go over there and we're going to talk about Dee Dee. All right, I just want to make sure. Hi, everybody over here. Hi, Christine Micro. Hi, Gwen. I guess she got her hair blonde again, Gwen. Welcome. Hi, Kevin. And hi, Moon Dreams. Hi, Little Lady. Ruff, everybody. All right, I'm going to get right to this because there's people on different forums watching. We appreciate it all. Thank you. If you're on a different forum, you want to come over to YouTube, you can come over to here, Ron Mommy Ramblings blog streaming here. So let me get this, and we're going to go through this. I guess it's been released, and someone got it, and now it's been released onto multiple message boards, platforms. It says the post-mortem examination of the body of Claudine Blanchard, it has Blanchard with the E, on June 15, 2015, at the Greene County Medical Examiner's Office in Springfield, Missouri, a post-mortem examination was performed on the body of Claudine Blanchard, an adult female. The autopsy was performed under the authority of Missouri state law. The examination was conducted by medical examiner Jeff Harkey, MD, and it was assisted by Tom Vandenberg of the medical examiner's office, and it was started at 12:50 p.m. Prior to her death, Miss Blanchard had lived with her daughter in a residence in Springfield, Missouri. After their neighbors reached out to the Greene County Sheriff's Office that both women were missing. A search warrant was obtained, and deputies entered the Blanchard house. And we know that the body was received in a body bag that was secured with a tamper evidence seal, and that was marked with the decedent's identifying information. A medical examiner's identification tag was on the decedent's left ankle. The body was that of a well-developed, obese, white female whose appearance was consistent with the given age of 48 years old. The decedent's body measured 5'2", and she weighed 255 pounds. The body was received clothed in a white nightshirt with a floral print. There were multiple cuts in the upper back of the nightshirt, and these defects corresponded to the positions of the stab wounds on the back of the decedent's body. So the back of her shirt, they're saying the cuts in it matched the stab wounds. Of course, you'd expect that, right? There was a religious pendant on a string necklace that was about the neck. Cuts in the necklace corresponded to cuts on the back of the decedent's neck. Now remember hearing that in some reports that her neck was severed severely, like they almost said she was decapitated, so that'll be interesting to see what's in here, right? Paper evidence bags were in place over the hands. Prior to further examination of the body, the fingernails were clipped and collected. Oral swabs, vaginal swabs, and rectal swabs were collected. Combed pubic hair and pulled pubic hair was collected, and pulled head hair was collected. The clothing as well as the items of trace evidence were taken into evidence by the Greene County Sheriff's Police. There were 17 stab wounds. For purposes of demonstration, the stab wounds are numbered 1 through 17. The numbering is arbitrary, and it is not intended to indicate the order in which the wounds were received. Now, I did hear someone say that they knew the order that they were in. Well, that's impossible because the medical examiner is saying that the numbers do not correspond to that. And they were saying that the stab wounds were, they went left to right, which means that, this is left to right, that the person that stabbed her, I think, was right-handed, where whatever it was, they were trying to, say that could they have done this or not. And I think Nick is left-handed, is he? So whichever way it was, they were saying it was the opposite way. But here we're reading right now that the numbers and everything are not indicating which is first. They're not doing that. The numbers are just arbitrary. Okay, behind the top of the left shoulder, there were 13 stab wounds in the upper and middle back. Okay, behind the top of the left shoulder, oriented longitudinally 1 inch on the skin surface. The center of the wound is 8.5 inches below the top of the head and 4 5/8 inches to the left of the posterior midline of the body. A sharp upper end and sharp lower end. The wound direction is back to front. The wound track is 3 1/8 inches deep. It passes through the skin, through the fat and muscle, and it ends on the posterior surface of a left upper rib. So that stab wound hit on one of the left upper ribs. Then there's another, the center of the upper back. Hang on. Oh, wait, I wanted to read something else that we missed here. Okay. So we said prior to her death, she lived with her daughter, right? They obtained a search warrant and the deputies entered the Blanchard residence on June 14th of 2015. Ms. Claudine Blanchard was found lying prone in her bed. There were obvious signs of death. No resuscitation efforts were begun. Ms. Claudine Blanchard was pronounced dead at the scene at 3:13 p.m. on June 14th. The Greene County Medical Examiner's death investigator was called to the scene and reported that Claudine had incised wounds of the neck and multiple stab wounds of the back and torso. Medical records that were dated June 2nd of 2015 indicated that the decedent had a past medical history of asthma, gastropharyngeal reflux disease, thyroid disease, diabetes, headache, hyperlipidemia, and endometrial cancer. She had a surgical history of hernia repair, appendectomy, tonsillectomy, hysterectomy, and cholecystectomy. Her prescription medications were not listed in the medical record. It was reported that medications at the scene were collected by the Greene County Sheriff's Office. The body was received in a body bag. We went through that part again. Okay, let's see. Body was received closed. We got that. Okay, and here's where we're finishing on this, the second wound. It was oriented somewhat transversely, 5/8 of an inch on the skin surface. The center of the wound is 11¼ inches below the top of the head and 5/8 inches to the left of the posterior midline of the body. There are sharp left superlateral end and sharp inframedial end. The wound direction is back to front. The wound track is 1½ inches deep and it passes through the skin, fat, and muscle. That one doesn't say it hit a rib or anything, okay? Then the third one is the left side of the upper back, oriented obliquely, 1¾ inch on the skin surface. Center of the wound is 11½ inches below the top of the head and 4½ inches to the left of the posterior midline of the body. Sharp left superlateral end and sharp inframedial end. The wound direction is back to front, left to right, and downward. The wound track is 5 inches deep through the skin, fat, and muscle of the chest wall to where it penetrates into the left chest through the muscles of the third left intercostal space. It perforates the upper edge of the lower lobe of the left lung at the oblique fissure, and then it perforates the inferior portion of the upper lobe of the left lung. It perforates the posterior wall of the pericardial sac, and it perforates the posterior wall of the left atrium of the heart next to the mitral valve. Well, now, Nick said in the interrogation that he believes he hit the lungs, remember? So there he was hitting that, just as he said. Center of the upper back on the fifth one, oriented obliquely, 1 inch on the skin surface. Center of the wound, 13 inches below the top of the head. So he's going down lower from the top of the head, right? On this one. And 3/4 inches to the center of the wound, 3/4 inches to the right of the posterior midline of the body. Sharp left supermedial end and blunt inferolateral end. The wound direction is back to front, slightly left to right and downward. The wound track is 2 3/4 inches deep as it passes through the skin, fat, and muscle of the chest wall. It enters into the right pleural cavity through the muscles of the right fifth intercostal space next to the spine, from where the wound track continues for another 3 inches, and it perforates the lower lobe of the right lung. The wound is 5/8 of an inch in length on the posterior surface and a 1/4 inch in length on the anterior surface, and then it perforates the right side of the diaphragm and penetrates into the posterior portion. Okay, samples of vitreous fluid, pericardial cavity blood, and liver were submitted to the St. Louis University Forensic Toxicology Laboratory for toxicology screens and analysis. Toxicology screening of the blood was negative for drugs of abuse. No alkalis were detected in the blood. The adult female, these are the summary of the autopsy findings, okay? The adult female was in the early stages of decomposition. Multiple 17 stab wounds on the back and neck. 6 wounds penetrate into the chest cavities. Injuries of the upper and lower lobes of the left lung. Injuries of the upper and lower lobes of the right lung. Perforating injury of the posterior wall of the left atrium of the heart. So he got her heart, he got her lungs. Hemopericardium, bilateral hemothorax. Two of the wounds pass through the right pleural cavity and penetrate the liver, hit the liver. 2 stab wounds of the back of the neck at the base of the skull. Visceral pallor due to blood loss. So she was blood loss. Multiple incised wounds of the neck. Deep wounds. Transversely across the back of the neck. A 1/7 and an 1/8 inch in length on the skin surface. Penetrates up to 3 inches to the end of the spine. Obliquely on the right side of the neck, inferior to the lower jaw. 4.5 inches in length on the skin surface. It was produced by at least 2 cutting motions. So 2 cutting motions on the wounds. Penetration of 3/4 of an inch to end at the spine. Multiple parallel superficial wounds on the right side of the neck. 1 incised wound on the back side of the 4th digit of the left hand. So she had 1 wound to the 4th finger on the left hand. Said she had obesity. She was 255 pounds on a 5-foot 2-inch frame. Apparently remote surgical absence of the appendix, gallbladder, uterus, ovaries, and fallopian tubes. She had an enlarged heart. Her heart weighed 405 grams. Let's see. She had a hepatic fibrosis. And it says steatohepatitis and hepatic fibrosis. Steatohepatitis. Let's see what that is. Let me look that up. Okay. So that's cirrhosis of the liver. And it says that the life expectancy of someone who's diagnosed early with cirrhosis of the liver is 10 to 15 years. However, if you develop complications such as swelling or fluid in the abdomen, confusion or bleeding from the gastrointestinal tract, life expectancy decreases dramatically to 3 to 5 years without a liver transplant. And so there's non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. And then she also had hepatic fibrosis, right? Hepatic fibrosis. is a condition that occurs when the liver develops scar tissue due to chronic inflammation and repeated liver cell injury. It's a common result of many liver diseases, including viral, toxic, metabolic, and autoimmune diseases. In hepatic fibrosis, excessive connective tissue accumulates in the liver. Okay. What is the life expectancy with that? If it's mild, 25 years. If it's cirrhosis, it says 13.8 years. Okay, let's go on and keep going through this. Okay, toxicology, blood screen is negative for alcohols and drugs of abuse. It says amphetamines, negative. Antidepressants, negative. Barbiturates, negative. Benzodiazepines, negative. Cannabinoids, negative. Cocaine, metabolites, negative. Lidocaine, negative. Methadone, negative. Non-opiate narcotic analgesics, negative. Opiates, negative. Phencyclidine, negative. Phenothiazines, negative. Propoxyphene, negative. Acetaminophen, negative. Salicylates, negative. Oxycodone, negative. Fentanyl, negative. Oxymorphone, negative. Okay. Let's see here. So the fingers and showing your hands, it's just there's a wound on just one finger. Okay, let me just see one thing over here. Hang on 1 second. Just trying to get over here too. I'd say if I can get a okay, let's see. So it says, obviously, Gypsy lied about her mother taking medication before she went to sleep because the toxicology reports don't indicate she had any drugs in her system, right? But they do say something about cutoff numbers available. And now it could be that, I don't know, depending on how long they were in her body, you know, if they found enough of it, if it was just something like when they say acetaminophen and whatever she said she took. But according to what there is in that autopsy, they don't have, everything was negative. She didn't have defensive wounds. She had one wound on her left ring finger. And she was still found, like we know, laying on her stomach, right? She had an enlarged heart. Her liver, we just learned about that. She had a little surgery. She didn't have an appendix. She didn't have a gallbladder. She didn't have her tonsils. She had a full hysterectomy. She didn't have her ovaries. She had endometrial cancer. And she had thyroid disease, the enlarged heart, diabetes. So she was not in good health, right? Let's see. What else we have here? Now, on another note, somebody asked Gypsy in something like to get a job or something, and she says, oh, she has a job. And they're like, what? And she's like, I'm an influencer. And they're like, what are you influencing? And she goes, positivity. Yeah, positivity. She's influencing. Isn't that cute? Okay, let's see here. See what else we have. So what do you think about this? Autopsy. I mean, do you think, what did you expect to find? I know a lot of you thought you're going to find like a whole bunch of drugs in her system, right? And she doesn't have it. So let me see what else, if there's anything else here that... It didn't, it really, the toxicology is, I thought it would have something in it, I really did, but it doesn't. So I don't know, I mean, let me see this. The wounds on her back, they go, hold on, so this is looking like,
Here,
excuse me a moment.
done.
Okay, so let me see. So the wounds on her back, let's see what they're like. It's kind of, you know, they come by the shoulders down there, like a backward C on the one side, on her left side, and then on the right side they're more just on across that shoulder blade kind of. So that's where the majority of all of that is. And then he hit her lungs, both sides. He hit the heart, and that's exactly what Nick said, right? And there's just one. She doesn't have defensive wounds, so she wasn't fighting back, or like at least, I mean, she wasn't unless he had her arms pinned down and she couldn't. I mean, I don't know. She wasn't. You're not seeing the defensive wounds on her, but you're also not seeing that. Let me see what they have for the neck. The neck does not appear, you know, who said that? Remember, there was one of the first documentaries that came out said something about her head almost being severed. I'm not seeing. Let me see that. She's got some stab wounds, like there's 2 wounds on the back of the head, and then she's got an incised wound on the back of the neck. Okay, maybe that incised wound, but it, yeah, I guess she had there's a large incised wound all over the back of the neck, so, interesting. So yeah, but she wasn't, totally decapitated or anything like that. And an incised wound. Okay. All right, I'm going to go to the chat and see what you guys were saying. I know you guys are on TikTok and you're in here, and so let's see what's going on. You have questions. I heard. What's going on? You have questions? Who's it? Grift probably was taking. Grift was take. Do you think she was taking her meds? I have questions. The autopsy is posted all over the internet. Have you been on the internet? It's posted all over. Sloppiest investigation ever, Christine says. Rough shape. Oh, let's see. Tasha Ray. Nailed it. Hey, video reel. Good to see you. Video reel. Hi, little lady. Hi, Christine and Micro. Christine F. I hope you're doing okay. Oh, it's all over. I have questions there. It's on in any place you could imagine. It's on Facebook. It's on, I believe it's all over TikTok. It's all over, I think it's on Instagram. Go look on all the message boards, all the Gypsy Rose groups. It's all over there. The toxicology, there was nothing found. It said something about cutoff values were available if requested, but it said negative on everything. Negative. So what do you guys think? Now, does this change anything for you? Does anybody think this changes anything for them? I feel that I thought that the toxicology report would have shown something, even acetaminophen or something like that in her system. I'm surprised that it doesn't have that in her system. The rumor is that she had a bottle of hydrocodone with her at Nick's house. So what if her mother was being prescribed these pain medications? Was Gypsy taking them from her? Is that what you're saying? Do you think that's what was going on? Well, Gypsy went to the hospital, remember? She had blood work done, so they would have had her toxicology about what she was taking, right? Hi, Pinkberry. Joanne says pain meds are quite valuable. Sleep meds, anxiety meds, there's money in those. Oh yeah. I'm not surprised there's nothing in Dee Dee. So you think that she was being prescribed that and either Gypsy was taking it or selling it? Is that what you're saying? What did you miss? We just went over her autopsy. She had several health conditions. She had thyroid disease. She had an enlarged heart. She had her liver had issues, and she had an appendectomy. So she also had no gallbladder that had been taken out. She had a complete hysterectomy. They say that she had a hysterectomy because she had a history of endometrial cancer. And what else did they say? That her liver could be like that from autoimmune diseases. She was obese, they said, 255 pounds. Is that what they said on a 5'2" body? She was found, as we know, on her stomach, laying on her stomach. She did not have defensive wounds. There was a small superficial wound in the ring finger, but that was it. The knife, as Nick said, did hit both lobes of the lung on the left and the right side. What else did we learn? You said crazy, they didn't, something tox out. The toxicology is out. It says negative on everything, Kevin. It says negative on everything. Why are you saying they didn't put it out? Taking it herself and selling it. You believe that, Joanne? We don't know. I mean, we don't have any proof of that, but the possibility, right? They did put the toxicology out. Kevin, are you listening to me? I read it all. It said it didn't have anything. She was negative and all of those things. Gypsy loves that photo editing. She really does. It's amazing that as she has gotten pregnant, right, and further along, she's getting thinner and thinner. She's getting a more defined waist. She's getting different legs, everything, right? It's amazing. You think it's scary how she's looking like Mia? Well, is it really that she's looking like Mia, or she's editing herself to look like Mia? Because I don't think if you see them in real life, you would think they look alike, okay? She's doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, she's in Mia's shadow, for sure. She's got to always be feeling like she's in Mia's shadow. No matter what, Mia's 10 years younger than her. And it must just be a point. You know how Gypsy is probably feeling, right? That Mia got everything. And it's like, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. She says, Mia, Mia, Mia. That must be Gypsy. Why can't you be like Mia? Why couldn't you have been like Mia? Look at Mia did that. Look where Mia is. You know, Mia, Mia, Mia. That must be Gypsy. You don't believe Gypsy was really sick, and exactly what in her stomach grow, not shrink, right? Kevin, calm down. I would say Gyp editing herself. Oh yeah, Gyp's editing. She's definitely editing. Come on. Sibling rivalry is common in girls. Yeah, believe me. But I mean, with Gypsy, please, let's see what else we can learn tonight. Let's see what else we can learn. All right, let's see. Oh. Say, Kevin, it says cutoff values available upon request, but the toxicology said the blood screen is negative for alcohols and drugs of abuse. And it goes through all of them. Amphetamines, negative. Antidepressants, negative. Barbiturates, negative. Benzodiazepines, negative. Cannabinoids, THC, negative. Cocaine, metabolites, negative. Lidocaine, negative. Methadone, negative. Non-opiate, narcotic, analgesic, I can't speak tonight, negative. Opiates, negative. Phencyclidine, negative. Phenothiazines, negative. Propoxyphene, negative. Propoxyphene, negative. Acetaminophen, that's Tylenol, negative. Salicylates, negative. Oxycodone, negative. Fentanyl, negative. Oxymorphone, negative. And then it says cutoff values available upon request. And it says that it was received in the lab on 6/17, and the report by the doctor was on July 1st. No, I don't see lower wounds to the extremities. Nothing. I don't see any wounds on the legs or anything. The wounds are all in that upper middle back. And then that incised wound on the back of the neck, and then 2 wounds on either side, like on the bottom of the head. Let me see here. Let's see here. Anything else? Okay, so that's about it on that part of it. Let's see what else we can say. Okay, so here's what somebody asked her on her Instagram. I think this or TikTok. Which one? They said, "What work do you do?" She said, "Social media influencer," and they said, "Influencing what?" And she said, "Positivity." Oh my goodness. Positivity. So I'm just very confused about that one picture. What is that in the mirror? That's a scar here from her feeding tube, but I don't know what the heck that woman in the picture is there for. Very odd. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, I'm trying to see what else. So, people are saying like Gypsy was smoking prior to getting pregnant. They have pictures of her out smoking and wondering if she stopped smoking when she got pregnant. What do you think? Did she stop smoking? Okay, so let's see here. So people are looking at this autopsy stuff and saying it's overkill. People are saying Nick didn't do this. Now, how much is that people don't want Nick to do this? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you guys about. Did you see the video where Gypsy cooked for Ken? Oh my gosh, guys, that was so gross. It was so gross. Because, do you know what she made? She said she brought out some kind of a cookbook and she said, I'm making spaghetti and meatballs. She's following that PR thing to an absolute T, okay? But Gypsy can't cook. And she almost had like a fire on the stove. She's like, oh my gosh, is this I want to make sure I'm not having a fire. So she was making spaghetti and meatballs. She takes out a cookbook. I want you to understand something, okay? She takes out a cookbook, but she's not even making the meatballs. The meatballs are frozen meatballs that she buys in a bag, and she had them in a pan, okay? And then she had a jar of Prego tomato sauce, and she was using Creole spices. So, like, her recipe shows like it's Italian spaghetti and meatballs, but what is she doing? So, she's not making the sauce, she's not making the meatballs, and then she starts adding like a whole bunch of Creole seasoning, and she said tomato paste, and I think she said crushed tomato. Basically, the meatballs, she's like frying them in a pan, and then she starts with these spices. Then she says, let me move the pan over here, but you still can't see inside it. And then it's like, goes really, it's just like, it's like, oh my gosh, that just made me nuts. And then she just started crying. Yeah, it was the most bizarre video. She's really, really trying to reinvent herself. Okay, let me see if I can find a picture of this horrendous, let me see. And she's like working like hand in hand with People Magazine. Like literally every time she makes a video, People Magazine covers it. They're desperate for content as well. So here she was making this. This is the plate of her little Smokies, and she's like, I've got to have little Smokies. It was gross. Okay, I'm so sorry. She says, I want him to be happy. I'm quoting Gypsy now, and I want him to be happy, and I want him to want to be with me. And she went on a long story about how they met the first time while she was in prison, and they've been through a lot while together and apart. And she was like just crying, but you didn't see any tears. I didn't. And then Ken made an appearance at the end to say that he thought He tried the first bite. He said, I'm excited to try Gypsy's cooking. It's really hot though. And he said, it's very good. Very good. 10 out of 10. Oh, good job, Ken. Good job. Let's see. But it was gross. Little Smokies, I'm sorry. And let's get it. Ken looked scared to try it. He really did. Maybe he thought like, oh my gosh, am I going to get poisoned? I don't know. She said, he is at work right now and he doesn't know that I'm planning this. Yeah, sure. Right. She's a liar because she doesn't drive, right? She doesn't drive. He would have had to take her to the store. He knew all about this. She lies all the time. But I'm planning a romantic dinner tonight. She's making spaghetti and meatballs, and she showed off this recipe. But what would you need a recipe for if you're buying a bag of frozen meatballs, a box of spaghetti, and a jar of sauce? Okay, so this is her first time cooking. She says he is always cooking for her. And it's another milestone in their relationship. Okay. All right, Gypsy, how about, maybe watch, if you want to make spaghetti and meatballs, like really, don't put the little smokies in it. I don't know what you're doing with the Creole seasoning. If you're making an Italian meal, I'm kind of a little bit lost here, but okay, more power to you, Ken. You bet he fell in love with her, right? The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Yep. She gets on your nerves so bad. I know, Christine. It's because it's so fake and so phony, okay? And you know what it is? We know about the PR thing. So it's like, wouldn't you then be like, okay, they know about this whole PR thing. Am I going to stick on this and really look like a nut? Or should I maybe kind of deviate from it, do something different? But no, she's following it to a T. Prego and frozen meatballs. And don't forget little smokies. And then Creole seasoning. And then crushed tomatoes and tomato paste. Yeah. I mean, okay, let's say she had to use... the smokies are just doing me in. I couldn't do that. You've never had a good frozen meatball. Maybe they are out there. I don't know. Okay, let me tell you something. I can't eat. I really cannot eat. There's a few people's meatballs I can eat. I can eat Sandra Rusak's meatballs because I can eat. When my uncle was alive, my uncle's meatballs, because I always ate my dad's meatballs. And I couldn't eat anybody else's meatballs. It's like something, it's like meatloaf. I can't eat anybody else's meatloaf either. It's like weird. It's like something that I just can't do. But so there's only very few people's meatloafs, like meatballs that I've had and that I'll eat. Now I've tried frozen meatballs in the store. Can't do it. They don't taste like meatballs. I don't know. I've never tried Rayo's meatballs. I don't know if anybody... I like Rayo's sauce is good. I don't know if the meatballs taste like real meatballs, but I don't know. Anyway, let's just say she was going to use the store meatballs. Then I would have just gotten a better sauce. Something like a Rayo's or something along those lines. And... I don't know. Yeah, but get rid of the little smokies. But it's easy. Go follow the Rayo's meatball recipe, Gypsy. It's online. It's not hard. It's very easy. It's a very simple recipe. You've never heard of little smokies and spaghetti in your life. Neither have I. No, little smokies, no. I've got to have my little smokies. Hey there, BB Diamonds, and hi, Honey Fleur. Frozen meatballs are nasty. Real meatballs are made with breadcrumbs, eggs, seasoning. Oh, I know, I'm Italian, sweetheart. You're preaching to the choir here. I'm 100% Italian. I make them all by eye. You're preaching to the choir. Butternut squash sauce is amazing on pasta. Real meatballs are miniature round meatloaf. Yeah, that's that BB Diamond. That's how my dad used to make. Our meatloaf was like, made almost like just like the meatballs. Mommy, remember the night on Zoom we talked about meat all recipes? Yeah, the little smokies. I think let me see what a little smoky is. I think it's this little. They're like little hot dog, like Vienna. I don't know if they say Vienna sausages. I can't look at that either. Okay, come on. Why don't you just put some spam in there? Come on. But can we really blame her? She's not Italian. I mean, we can't. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if somebody said to me to go cook, I don't know, maybe something Hungarian, I wouldn't know what the heck I'm doing anyway. Okay. So, beef, little smokies. This is them. You could use them. See, but when I make pigs in a blanket for appetizers, I don't use little smokies. I use the little soubrette or the but she uses these little smokies. Sorry, if she wanted to put a sausage, meatballs and sausage, she should use a sweet Italian sausage, if that's what she wants. She could have done that. But maybe it's better she didn't, because what if she didn't cook the sausage properly? Then they'd all get trichinosis. And I'd be scared to have Gypsy cook the sausage. I'd be like, did you cook the sausage well? Do you know this? She'd be like, cook the sausage? I thought it was pre-cooked. I don't know. We're lucky she didn't put SpaghettiOs in there. I don't know. Ken thinks it's good. All right, let's see what else we got. All right. And I don't know what kind. I mean, her dad cooks a lot of seafood and stuff, Creole seafood and recipes like that. So, yeah, I mean, she decided spaghetti and meatballs. I'm not sure what nationality Ken is, but I don't think he's Italian. Um, I don't know. Let's see what else is going on here. So Ken. Trying to see what else is going on. Gypsy. Okay, when she made the romantic dinner, she started crying, like I said. And she said that she's folding laundry and talking about how she started cooking Ken dinner because she said, like, he would stay just for the baby, and I don't want that for him. I want him to be happy with me. And I saw that. She said, I was doing this and I was folding laundry. That's what I saw. Gosh, I feel like I saw that in another universe. It's crazy. Laundry and cooking. Yeah, okay. Just the cookbook with the frozen meatballs and stuff is just kind of crazy. Oh, here's that. You know, here's. Hold on, I want to get this. I want to get it. I want to get on one of these when she had this whole thing of these little smokies. So, like, I don't know when, like, when she lived with her mother, you know, I don't know what they were eating. She said her mother, I think, was a good cook. But according to, like, Nick's dad, Gypsy didn't even know how to make boxed macaroni and cheese, and she was 23 years old. So here she is with the plate of the little smokies. Make it a little bigger. And do you know that this bottle of oil does not have a top? Did anybody notice that? The bottle of oil didn't have a top. What did she just drop it and just like, oh, that's okay, I'll just leave it open? That's one thing I noticed right away. Why didn't the oil have a top? Let's see here. So a lot of people are disgusted by the smokies. I'm glad I'm not alone. Somebody said she served the dinner on towels. I'm thinking they're meaning placemats. They put it on a towel, like a dish towel, instead of a placemat. Trying to see if everybody else is saying she's literally obsessed, which is escalating. Ken seems nervous and unsure of what he signed up for. The baby being born into that isn't going to help. I don't see it lasting long or ending well. This is somebody saying this on a message board. As far as the romantic dinner goes, I suppose a murdering convict might find greasy pasta jar sauce, beanie weenies, and frozen meatballs served with a side of slobber and tears, fake crying in between, romantic as she wailed, her insecurities mistaken for love, out on the camera. I'm interested in why that camera is in the bedroom pointed at the bed. I think she's watching Ken. I think she is. Sorry. So there's a lot of misinformation. A lot of people are going wild with the autopsies and saying like, oh, it means this, it means that, it means Gypsy did this. And guys, please, the people are going to be off the chain on this stuff. So again, Dee Dee had a history of endometrial cancer. Why she had a hysterectomy? She had gallbladder removed because she had gallbladder disease. She had thyroid disease. She had acid, the reflux, GERD. She had obesity and diabetes and asthma. And she had that liver stuff we talked about earlier. She was obese, 255 pounds and 5'2". What else? What else we have? That there were the stab wounds hit the upper lower lobe of each lung on each side. They also hit the heart. And then she had an incised wound on the back of her neck and 2 smaller wounds on the back of each side of the head. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else here. I don't see that much. I mean, there'll be more coming out. You're going to see a lot of speculation on this autopsy and back. I mean, don't get yourselves caught up in a lot of crazy crap, because people are going to see it's like shadows and stuff. People can see what they want to see. Anyway, let me see. Gypsy talked about her first kiss with Ken on that, the second part of that cooking video. Now, what is a, she says she has a Chad, right? She has a Chad. What is a Chad? My Chad wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. 10-foot pole. Okay, it all started as a stereotypical name for a jock. An attractive, athletic man who is good with women and who bullies nerds. Oh my gosh, he's not a Chad. Why does she even think he's a Chad? I mean, she think after Ryan just because he's not... Oh my gosh. A Chad is a sexually active alpha male. A Chad is a conventionally attractive man. He's white and well-bred in his 20s. A Chad, a phrase describing a stereotypical young, urban, white male, typically single and in his 20s. My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole, a 10-foot pole. I've got a Chad. Last time I checked, you don't have a man. You don't have a man. He likes Chads. He wants a Chad. 6-figure salary, 6 inches and 6 feet tall. Fetch banana. Okay. What's a smoky? It's, hey Sharon, it's those things she's holding. It's these beef sausages things. Don't. It's a little sausage, a smoked sausage. It doesn't belong in spaghetti, and neither does Creole seasoning belong in Italian spaghetti and meatballs. Sorry. PJ Lee says, Ken is no Chad. Ha 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 ha. Galacticness 81. Hello there. The fact there's not much about her mom with the autopsy out shows volumes of people care more for her behavior more than Dee Dee's. The fact that there's not much about her mom with the autopsy out shows volumes of people care. Well, there's not that much to discuss about the autopsy. The toxicology all came back negative. Very salty, not good for the baby. Yes, honey fluorine. It probably has a load of nitrates as well. Who watched Gypsy when Dee Dee was having surgery? Yeah, that's a good question, Oliver. And when did she have that surgery, right? When was that surgery that she had? Very good. The Vienna sausage is fire. Oh my gosh. Vienna sausage, another thing. Uh, she seems, hi Kikiru. She seems obsessed with Ken. Yeah, I'm surprised because I think she thinks she can do so much better than Ken. Like she is looking for a Kardashian referral. She was dressed in a nightie with the lights off. Ken comes home, turns the lights on, and eats spaghetti. Oh, really, Baby Diamond? Yes. Interesting. I didn't see that part of it. I saw her making the spaghetti, and I saw her having a crying fit about wanting to do, right by Ken, I guess. It's only so much you can take. Is he pulling back? I think we all, like, he was probably scared. I'm not going to lie. He was probably scared to eat that. Okay? I don't know what nationality Ken is. She says he does most of the cooking. I don't know what kind of a cook he is. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, infatuated all the way with Ken, not healthy. But see, I think, is she really infatuated with Ken, or is she just keeping Ken on this string and doesn't want it to be like she wants to be the one to leave him for something better? I think that's more what it is. Like she's missing between right now. Like, okay, she's got this baby. Okay, but what if the Kardashians can recommend somebody that like, I think she'd leave Ken in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I don't think it's about Ken at all. I really don't. I don't. I think she just doesn't want to be left. Exactly. What can Gypsy do? Right. I mean, I think she looks at her sister. I think she's very jealous of Mia because, Mia's 10 years younger than her, but had everything she wanted. And, she's finishing nursing school now. She's going on trips. She's not this hot mess all the time. And she probably lives in her shadow. It's like Marsha, 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 Mia, Mia, Mia. She does look slimmer here. And that's what I'm saying. But even her boobs look smaller. Now, when you're pregnant, that's not the case, right? And we've seen in her other pictures, they were bigger. So she's definitely, in my opinion, touching the photo tuner like way high. And like, what is going on? And see, here's the thing. We know she's pregnant because she had the ultrasound, but she didn't have her, like, okay, if she really was afraid like Ken was going to move out on her or something like, and wanted to trap him, yeah, she would have gotten herself pregnant. But I think she's in this like kind of limbo because she sees Mia buying sexy clothes. And Mia, if you look at her Facebook, she constantly sells those clothes, gets more clothes. She's looking at that. Now, Gypsy is going to be not being able to wear that kind of stuff, right? When she finally starts showing here if this is really a done deal here with this baby. And it's getting to be like a little bit strange because she seems to be getting thinner, unless that's all just filters. But I think she probably feels like she didn't have that sexy time with Ken. Like maybe she wanted to really get into shape. They're supposed to be going to the gym now, but she said she's working out with some hand weights and things. She can't do a lot. She can walk. She can do the treadmills. She can, you can do what you're used to. She could, if she was, if she would cycle, but we saw what happened with the bike, so you don't want to do that when you're pregnant. But if she was wanting to get even like thinner and like all this stuff, she now has a baby. And she's probably thinking, great, here's my sister. She's going out. She's getting the sexy stuff. I'm trying to keep this guy. But now what's going to happen? I'm going to turn frumpy and get pregnant. And then I'm going to have the baby. I'm going to be in all postpartum. And, anybody that has a baby knows what that all entails, right? So then I'll have the mood. She already said she's having mood swings. What do you think? Ken's not worried that she might get postpartum depression? Look what happens to some women with that. We don't know how Gypsy's going to behave, and he doesn't either. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Gypsy can walk. Oh, yeah, she can walk. So, I think, it's probably like a rock and a hard place. So maybe she's working these filters out because she's seeing Mia posing for these photos and she wants to do that. And I don't think she's really interested in doing it with a big baby bump, because I think she wants to be like this sexy thing for Ken. And who knows if Ken's not saying something about Mia? Who knows if he ever said anything about Mia that's, made her hyper aware? Why is that camera on the back of that bookcase facing the bed? That doesn't make sense. Who's that woman in the mirror? I mean, what is going on there? Did you guys see that? Like, what's the deal with that? Hold on, let me see which one it was. Was it this one? Yeah. Let's look at this. This is a camera pointed at the bed. I think Gypsy has an app and she watches Ken. She watches Ken when she can't be there. And who is this? You see this mirror? And there's like a door and there's a woman there? I thought, well, maybe it's getting maybe the TV is over there and it's getting a piece of the TV, but it's just odd. But that's got to be what it is, right? It's she must have a TV over there, but this camera, the camera's freaking me out. I think she's watching him. Somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. I think it is. Somebody said it might be for his dog. Yeah, okay. Maybe she said, oh, here, I got a camera for the dog. Yeah, she's watching him. Okay. Word on the YouTube streets is Ken is resigned to his situation, allegedly. Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah, honey Fleur. Those are not, yeah, the legs, no. No, something's up. Her arms are slimmer too. Yes, they're slimmer and they're much more defined. And something's going on. Look at this hand. Okay, look at this hand. Look at this hand. Okay? It almost looks like these fingers are chopped off, doesn't it? And this hand, look at the fingers on this hand as opposed to this hand. And the legs, yes, the legs seem off as well. The problem is she's using the filters for everybody else, not Ken. Jennifer Hawkins says she probably is faking it up to real life. The hand does not look right. Yeah. Yeah, I think she's You notice like even her boobs on top are not as big as what they are. So I think maybe whatever she used also took away something from there. The chatters figured it out. They're at the Airbnb for the weekend family reunion. Oh, good chatters, right? But I don't think so, Christine. You can't have a camera in somebody's bedroom in an Airbnb. No way. But that makes sense that that's not Ken's place, and why there's suitcases on the bed. And why it seemed like she was at Ken's for way too long. But no, the camera, no way. I'm telling you, you cannot. That's against the law. You cannot put a camera there. Like, people get in trouble at Airbnbs when they've had cameras found. But they would never have it conspicuous like that, facing a bed. But that's a good thing that they're at an Airbnb. It's probably correct. I thought that I didn't think that Ken would have that piece of furniture in his house. But I also don't understand why an Airbnb would have these mirrors on the floor like that. You know, that would be a dangerous thing, because if there was a young child or something that pulled that mirror, that's kind of weird. So I'm not sure. The jury's out on that. The reflection behind looks like somebody is actually taking her photo. I don't know. Unless they brought their camera, their own. Unless they brought their own camera to watch the dogs. But she probably watches Ken on that camera at his house. I bet you she does. That's probably why she's like, I'm watching you, Ken. Make sure he's sleeping alone or something. Who knows? Maybe instead of FaceTiming, she told him like, oh, I'll just watch you sleep at night. And you can watch me. Maybe she has one in her room. Maybe somebody bought them for the baby and she decided to hook it up, right? Maybe she got one on a registry or something. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. She'll be posting today's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday. Oh, I can't believe it's Labor Day weekend, guys. She's setting up an OnlyFans. You know, I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, Joanne, if she set up one, right? I wouldn't be surprised. I think if she found out it could make good money, why not? Wouldn't she do it? You think that's another mirror with her back reflection? Why? But why would an Airbnb have all these mirrors on the floor? That would seem dangerous. Wouldn't it seem that dangerous? I think it would be. She should have to work in a soup kitchen and forced to live off that kind of salary while being stuck on a tether and living in a halfway house with absolutely no access to the internet. Leland Squirrel says. She has it till you make it. Doesn't work these days. Well, I guess it depends on what you're doing. But I don't know. I'm trying to look at those pictures. No, you know, this one over here, this looks like hands. It looks like a hand here and a hand here. And then you have a woman here in like a black coat. You have this big, huge door behind her. this looks like a picture of some kind. But why would they not have this stuff on the wall if they're in an Airbnb or something? Come on. Look at this luggage tag. It looks like a paper tag on there. Doesn't it look like a paper tag? What is this black thing? And who are these people? Usually when people have an Airbnb, they don't have it personalized with photos of themselves. Maybe they know these people. You know what I mean? She said the father got some cabins or something. Maybe they know these people. Oh yeah, I know people do more than X-rated content. I know. Murder sure didn't make your dad famous. So why do you think our chances of making it? So what do you think our chances of making it a social media influencer? I don't know, Christine. Maybe. I don't know. Like there's like a lots of stuff. Usually Airbnbs and stuff, especially ones that are rented a lot, they don't have a lot of tchotchkes and things around. First of all, they don't want somebody to steal them. Second of all, they don't want them broken. They usually keep it very minimal. You think this is Rod and Kristy's room? Maybe it is Rod and Kristy's room. Maybe this is before they're going. Maybe they're packing. Does anybody recognize these suitcases for when? I don't know. I just don't think this is an Airbnb because I just think this looks like Kristy. It doesn't look like Rod though. This might be Mia. That could be Mia coming in. Look. And then this looks like a photo, and it looks like a big keyhole here, but there's a whole bunch of hands reaching out. You don't think it's a mirror at all? That's a framed photograph of a lady? Like this one, I think is something. But why would they have this person in the door? There's just, it looks like too much stuff to be an Airbnb. They really, because it looks like there's like collectibles here, and you wouldn't have that because you'd be so afraid. You don't know who's. Hey, Mooney. Mooney, we need your address because you bought something from Margot. And got to be or something, but Mooney Midnight. If you could email us, that'd be great. That's a framed photograph. That's kind of a strange photograph, but why is it on the floor though still? The tilt. A mirror would be aiming upward. Looks. Maybe it's at Mia's place. I don't know. There, let me see. Hold on, let me check something else on. Okay. All right, let me see something here. She's trying to show off the suitcases on the bed, people think. They say her jawline is photoshopped. These are people talking about this, okay. She has never not edited a photo of herself. Showing the legs. They say she doesn't look pregnant. Is that a camera on the top left side pointed at the bed? Yes, yes, it is. Let's see. Oh, people see that her hands look like two different people's hands. Let's see. Too many people are talking about that picture. They're saying that her stomach looks fuzzy and it's edited. And then somebody said that Gypsy had been smoking at one time there. Okay, let's see here. Hold on, I'm just trying to see something here. Gypsy. Spotted leaving. When is this from? Oh, look at this. Okay. So if we go back to May. Let's take a look. She's got a neck pillow. She has this suitcase. This was May 4th. Okay. That was May 4th. On Saturday, May 4th, Gypsy was spotted departing Los Angeles International Airport by photographers. She had an oversized beige hoodie, jeans, and black sunglasses. She was rolling a blue suitcase, a carry-on bag with a butterfly, and a white purse. She attended Lifetime's Television Academy for Your Consideration event on May 1st to promote the show. She said, I'm just enjoying my time traveling. I don't get to travel very often because I'm on parole, so I have to get permission from my parole officer to travel, so I'm just enjoying tonight. I'm on a high right now. You're not going to bring me down. Okay, sorry. Her trip hasn't been all business. In a TikTok shared by her beauty influencer and makeup artist Alexis Oakley, they watched as she shopped at Sephora for the first time in her life. After picking up products from brands like Makeup Forever, NARS, Charlotte Tilbury, and more, her makeup artist joked that Blanchard was an easy sell. Okay, let's see. So that's her suitcase. I don't see that suitcase on the bed there. Do you? I don't. All right, let's see what else we got here about Gypsy. Oh, gross. Oh, listen to this one. Gypsy Rose immediately told her parole officer she was pregnant. This was not planned at all. It was completely unexpected, but we're both very excited to take on this new journey of parenthood. A few hours after making a YouTube announcement, Gypsy spoke with People magazine and shared details about her pregnancy journey, including a mention of her parole officer. She said, and I quote, I let my parole officer know that I was pregnant immediately when I found out, because I keep my parole officer in the loop about everything, even personal stuff. But it doesn't affect anything to do with my parole. I am still on parole for another 11 months. Oh boy. All the things that I wanted in a mother, I want to give to this baby. I'm a mother now. I am happy, and I just want to be a good mother for my child. I want to be everything my mother wasn't. Whenever someone says, do you think that because of what you went through, you're going to do that to your kids? I say, you know what? Absolutely not. I have learned what not to do. I have no concerns about my parenting when it comes to that. Let's see what else. Oh, Gypsy Rose. She says, I think everything has been very hyped up and I've had wonderful opportunities, but I don't see those lasting, and I think there comes a time when I will have to make a choice, and that's it. When do I say enough is enough? And I think after so long of having my name in the spotlight, that time is coming really soon. In terms of which job she would choose, her answer might surprise some. Part of me's like, maybe I should just go work at McDonald's. I love those French fries. I don't know, but I do like retail too. Maybe something at the mall, like makeup or Sephora or something, because I love makeup. Gypsy made her own jailhouse mascara out of toothpaste and pen ink. Oh boy. It burned her eyes. Great. That's good. Let's see what she says here about she recalled her state of mind when she and her then boyfriend, Nick Godejohn, conspired to kill her mother in June of 2015. She says, and I quote, "It was panic, desperation, because I was facing yet another surgery pretty soon, and I really did not want to have the surgery." That's not true. Her shocking journey, that's the one that she wanted, and she spilled something on it. She said, "My magazine," and Ryan said, "We'll get you another one, River." Gypsy said there was no debating with her mother whether she was going to have the procedure. She's like, "You're having it, and that's it." There was no discussion to be had, and I felt in my heart, please change your mind. This life needs to change. It's not like I didn't think about every other option besides murder. I did. Along with being forced into yet another unnecessary surgery, Gypsy said she was being mentally and physically abused at the time of her mother's murder. According to Gypsy, she asked Nick Godejohn to kill her mother, which he did, while she waited in the bathroom of the Missouri home she shared with her. If I had another chance to redo everything, I don't know if I would go back to when I was a child and tell my aunts and uncles that I'm not sick and Mommy makes me sick. Or if I would travel back to just that point of the conversation with Nick and tell him, "You know what? I'm going to go tell the police everything." I kind of struggle with that. Nobody will ever hear me say I'm glad she's dead or I'm proud of what I did. I regret it every single day. Okay. Brother. Gypsy. So she relates to Taylor Swift because the singer gets women. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's dad gave her marriage a 50-50 chance. She can be spontaneous. Let's see what Dad said back then. In an interview with People ahead of Blanchard's early prison release in December of 2023, Rod Blanchard opened up about Gypsy's marriage to Ryan Anderson. "Personally, I give it a 50-50 chance that it's going to work. She can be spontaneous and make a quick decision and just jump into things without thinking." Rod also shared his feelings on the couple moving in together after the prison release. He says, "I wish she would have came home here, and when her being on parole was over, live with him. Just live with him, learn him. She's grown, and she was told what to do all her life. We wish she wouldn't have, but like I told her, if it doesn't work out, I'll be there to help pick up the pieces. I really do hope it does work out. Ryan's a great guy. He loves her for all the right reasons." Okay. Let's see when she went to New York City. At the beautiful Central Park in New York City. She wrote in a caption on one photo. Let me see here. She also shared photos of her walking around in Times Square and sitting in balcony seats with Anderson, 37, as they waited to watch Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway. Hey everybody, so we're in Times Square. Look at this. Isn't this epic? I'm so enjoying my time right now. We're just walking Times Square and doing a little shopping. I just bought an I Love New York t-shirt, which was on my bucket list, so that was pretty awesome. She actually threw her coat on the floor there into the picture. Oh my gosh. First time in New York City. Thank you all for embracing me. We want a proper wedding at some point. Yeah, okay. Well, that didn't happen, right? Okay, so I think in my eyes her mama used her, but she knew about it and she learned how to do it, so and that's is what she's up to now. That girl don't want to work, says just messing. Hi. On her phone would have to be an iPhone 14 Pro with 2 lenses and a 15. No, a 14 has 3 lenses. A 14 has 3 lenses as well. Because I have a 14 Pro Max and it has 3 lenses. Canadian Nana, I'm just popping in to say hello, Carolyn and Jimmy. I hope all is well. Hi, Canadian Nana. How are you? The what? Sharon Howard? What, Sharon Howard? She has this need to take jabs at Dee Dee. She is constantly trying to make herself a victim, Honey Fleur says. Hi, Lotus. Lotus Haluga. Why am I missing Lotuses? Hi, Megsy. Her only regret is that she got caught. Welcome to everyone that's new here for the first time. Welcome. Appreciate you coming in. So, what do you think, guys? I think it's time for me to go. I have to go back to school shopping with my kiddos tomorrow. So I'm going to get like 2 hours of sleep and then go, but that's all right. I'll be fine. Maybe I'll get 4, 3. I might be able to get 4 hours of sleep. Well, 8 o'clock probably I'll get up 8:30 because then I want to go early because everything closes early on Sundays. So, yeah. If I go now, I'll still be able to get a good amount of sleep. For me. Well, for me. Let me see. But I appreciate everybody coming in. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about. Hold on, I'm just trying to get to... It's September 1st. I don't like it. Not one bit. Not one bit do I like it. I do not. I don't like the summer coming to an end. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. I'm having a very, very hard time with that. So anyway, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you tomorrow. Everybody have a good day. Have a good Sunday. This is your first time. The chat is so lovely. Oh, thank you, Megsy. Come back again. Please subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications because we go live here every day. I gotcha, Megsy. Thank you for coming in. Hi, SR. They aren't Southern people by blood. Please do not call her a Southerner. Okay, I'm sorry. Very sorry. I'm sorry, SR. Didn't mean to offend you. Mama did what needed to be done. Gypsy enjoyed the attention and played it from then. I know a child who's done very similar because they are a child. No one could say anything about that. Thank you, Carolyn. Amazing channel. First time in chat. Enjoyed it. Thank you, Honey Floor. Yeah, we do a lot of stuff here. We do a lot of fun stuff. Not just true crime. We do a lot of stuff. Thank you for coming in. No, but my kitties, my boys are going back to school. Unfortunately, it's coming to an end. We're Thursday. Thursday's the first day of school here. So, of course, you know, you got to go get those back to school things, right? But anyway, I will talk to you tomorrow. I might do a short from the road. Who knows? I really appreciate you all joining me with me tonight. I've liked the new people we've met. And we'll see you tomorrow. Everybody stay safe and be good. Love you guys. God bless. Bye-bye.